Bill Shorten is leaving politics. If I was tasked with fixing the NDIS, I'd be leaving too. But it gives you an idea just how bad this government is that when Bill Shorten announces his resignation, well, everyone is sad. Not sad because Shorten is going, but sad because Bowen isn't. Nor Chalmers, nor Giles, nor Plibersek, nor Burke, nor Wong. Am I forgetting anyone? You've probably come up with 6 names already. Shorten's resignation comes just 2 weeks after he said he would absolutely contest the next election.
You got the federal election presumably early next year. You're recontesting?
It's my aim to keep fighting as long as I can on the causes which I want to.
That means running again?
Sure, at this stage, absolutely.
Absolutely contesting the next election. 2 weeks later, absolutely not. And we're absolutely stupid if we believe anything these people say. Mr Shorten's achievements include helping to topple Kevin Rudd, helping to topple Julia Gillard, and helping to topple the national accounts, by which I mean helping to create the NDIS. As one of the architects of the NDIS, Mr Shorten told us the scheme would cost around $13 billion a year and be fully funded. It now costs $42 billion a year, and the cost is growing by 20% annually. I wish my superannuation had that kind of growth. Having created the NDIS behemoth, Shorten was tasked with fixing it. And having failed to fix it, Shorten is now moving on to become Vice-Chancellor of a university so he can pass on his knowledge to the next generation. Don't you love how this country works? He'll also lobby for more international students, just as soon as his wage doesn't require him to insist on fewer international students.
Let me trump an incoming Vice-Chancellor with a current Cabinet Minister. I support the government's propositions. I'm supporting the government's changes, and that is as it should be.
So Bill Shorten rides off into the sunset where a $1.8 million or thereabouts job at Canberra University awaits. And genuinely, I wish him well. He doesn't finish up immediately, though. The Prime Minister has insisted Mr Shorten stay on in his seat until February.
He and I agree there is important work still to be done to put the National Disability Insurance Scheme on a sustainable footing.
Which really means ensuring there's no need for a by-election. Oh, and sure, a sustainable footing for the NDIS. Speaking of the NDIS, Shorten's departure now leaves an opportunity. Or is it a poisoned chalice for an MP with more ambition than sense, which, let's face it, could be anyone in the Labor caucus? There's now an opening for a new Minister for the National Disability and Insurance Scheme. All you have to do is turn around a runaway train that former Labor Treasurer Wayne Swan described as out of control and completely unsustainable. Descriptors which could also be used for the economic portfolio, the immigration portfolio and the energy portfolio. Any takers? While Anthony Albanese is contemplating who Shorten's replacement might be, I can well imagine Labor MPs looking down to avoid eye contact when walking past the PM in the Parliament corridors. Shorten's colleagues and opponents, well, they were gracious and complimentary today. Former PM Tony Abbott tweeting, "Bill Shorten's retirement is a loss for our Parliament. Yes, he'll continue to serve our country, but we need more people of courage and conviction in our public life, and Bill has been a striver for the higher things in his time in the Parliament." Well, I don't think anyone would disagree that Bill Shorten has been a striver. He said today he'd always strive to make Australia better.
But there's something else that AW members have taught me. In the end, we're all just passing through. What matters is whether we leave the place better than we found it.
And how's that going? Would anyone agree Labor have left the place better than they found it? No? Well, Bill Shorten does.
I think we're doing a good job.
And that's why it's time to go.
Thank you. Time to go.